Ladies and gentlemen, YOUBEYOULIVE is proud to present the incomparable Miss Maine.
She walks the stage, pages in her hand, words so heavy, but we all understand. Truth on fire, rising through the pain. Say her name, yeah, say her name. Miss Maine, we all shook. Miss Maine, hear the truth, take a look. Right it wrong, right it plain. Rise again, rise again. Ooh, ah, hope remain. Ooh, ah, hope remain. In the rubble, she carves a song. Every broken piece still belongs. Opera crying, soul replying. You be you live. We keep on rising.
Jelly, dream girly fellas too. This is for the voices breaking through. She writes what we're all afraid to say, but that's her gift, and it lights the way.
We all shook hands. Tell your truth, write the book. From the ashes we remain. You be you life, say her name.
Neo soul drums with the violins crying, bass line thumping with soprano flying. Two worlds meeting, the story is the same.
Truth will rise. It's Miss May.
Hey, everybody. Hey, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
My name is William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill. Welcome to YOUBEYOULIVE. Everyone, I have the remarkable Ms. Maine on the line, and she has been one of my first Substack subscribers. Woo-hoo! You know what? I have 500 followers on YouTube. 30,000 on LinkedIn and 33 on Substack. How did you grow your number?
How did I grow my numbers on Substack?
Mhm.
I have no idea. I don't know. I woke up one morning, it's like, 100 followers. I didn't have to do any marketing. I didn't have to do anything. I think it was the first essay that I dropped.
Okay.
And that was when Trump came into office and all the things. And it was something that stirred in my spirit to write about the economy and the impacts of the economy. And that particular essay brought 100 in, and then it continued to grow from there. I don't write all the time. I mean, my inbox is full because I subscribe to folks. I don't know how many people I've subscribed to, but in my inbox is like 200. Every morning is over 200. And I honor those 200. I don't read them all, but I give the like button just to keep it going.
Yeah.
Folks can that's my engagement. There's no way that I can read over 200 or 300 essays or publications. But I think it was from there. And from there, I just continue to write, but I don't do it every day. I try to do my notes every day and format it where it is my style and my identity. But other than that, I don't know. I'm not gatekeeping because that's not what I do, but right. I don't know what the secret sauce is.
Neither do I. Like people keep telling me, you have all these followers.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do it? And I, like you, I just walked out. like, I just like, okay, I'm going to put this out there.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a job,
Mhm.
and I just wrote something. How does it feel to be, in my late 30s looking for a job? And it was a struggle for me because I've gone through 2008, the downturn, right? Brought myself back up, and now I'm, here again. What drew me in was you made a post. Peter, we should talk about Ms. Maine as well. You made a post that you had walked into your job
Mhm.
and that they laid you off,
Mhm.
and that you were in a senior position,
Mhm.
and they didn't give you the courtesy
Mhm.
that someone of your level should have gotten.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna share this with everybody out there. So they're like, okay, so why did that make you reach out to Ms. Maine? It made me reach out because simultaneously, in the news, it said that same week that Black women were more likely to get hit by this administration's tactics of human resources reduction.
Yeah.
So Black women were the biggest, hit the hardest. Now I read that, and then you're a reality.
Mhm.
So you can read something. We all read something, right? And we're like, okay, I'll keep that in my file.
Yeah.
But then you come up, and you cannot not say that you are a real person
Mhm.
who requires, healthcare, food, all of us. And this is a scary thought, people. Most of us are a few paychecks away from being homeless, right?
Mhm.
And if you are in my age range, the late 30s, you know that you've already depleted your 401k in 2008 for
Mhm.
me, right? And then you rebuild it, and then you're back at square one. And what that tells me is that no matter how much planning you do, that life can throw a wrench, and it's about having that faith of a mustard seed.
Yeah.
Having that faith of a mustard seed
Yeah.
that knows that we're going to do better. So I reached out to Ms. Maine, and we're going to find out who she is. And I asked her to come on the show, and she said maybe not now. And since then, I've just been watching life. Did your father pass away?
My father passed away. It will be 6 years this month, but we've had a lot of death. So June 28th, I was laid off,
Right.
blindsided. Then July 28th, my husband's brother passed away. And then August 28th, my brother. And then I had to put my dog down on September 3rd. Or
Yeah. Yeah. All of it.
Yes.
Right. And what I felt just watching your story, and people, there's always people out there watching you, and they are either going to be inspired or they're going to question, right? And I'm inspired by the way that you have publicly dealt with this.
Mhm.
And I know, not because she told me, guys, but I know that there's been some sorrowful nights, some hard nights, where you're, how do I get out of bed? And then there's those times where you write something that totally uplifts everyone around you. How, first of all, did you know you were making an impact?
No, I did not know I was making an impact. I don't pay attention to the stats. I don't look at my stats at all. And I have a friend who's very techie, and he's like, you have to pay attention to the analytics. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not on Substack to pay attention to analytics. I'm really on Substack to just write, because I'm a girl. I'm a woman. I refer girl all the time. I'm the girl that I was 13 until I learned how to read in San Francisco Unified School District. I had to teach myself how to read at 13. I'm the girl who went to high school and popped into journalism. And my first story that I wrote was teen pregnancy, because I had a really good friend who had her first child at 13 back then. And I was very intrigued by, you're 13, how are you having a kid? So I wrote about it in the journalism class, and it didn't make the front page. It made like page 5 or something. But my journalist teacher called me into the class, and he was just like, this is a really good article, and I want to put it on the front of the newspaper. And it's like, we're going to recycle it and put it on the front. And it's like, okay, cool, great, no problem. And you really should pursue this. But life took a turn for me, to where
A comfortable turn, or
a very uncomfortable turn.
Okay.
I would say some folks can't handle the grit that I come from, but I come from the gutter, and I'm okay with telling that story that I come from the gutter. So life happened while I was in high school, and I just didn't pursue it, but I also knew that it was a gift inside of me. And how do I get it out? And through Facebook and Instagram and X and all these things and TikTok, it's like, folks aren't reading. So this is not the platform for me to do my little skits or even to put out a lengthy post, because TikTok, you got to have that hook within a second. And then Facebook and all these other things, those platforms didn't serve my gift. And on Substack, it really serves my gift.
So one of the things I noticed about your gift is that when you write, I can, and I rarely do this, right? But I can actually get into it. I can see what's happening, as she walks down the hallway, and, keys in her hand, you're envisioning what's going on when the way that you write, it creates the entire story as, she opens the door and you're just like, okay, now what's going to happen? So have you always done that? And then 13 years old to learn how to read. I think, forget the question about the writing. Let's start. Let's start there.
Yeah. So 13. Yeah, I didn't learn to read until I was 13. I went to school in San Francisco. I was raised in Bayview, Hunters Point. And when I say that's the grimy of the grimy, it's the grimy of the grimy. And I love my community to death. I've served my community from a child to an adult seasoned professional. I've never lost my footing of where I come from. So growing up in San Francisco, I went to school in Chinatown. For whatever reason, we were assigned to that school. So culturally, it all was a shock. And if you know the Asian community and how they learn and what their culture is and how strict they are around learning and education, it looks totally different from a Black home where it's not even your home, right? My mom, and this is not private. I've written about this. My mother dropped us off and said, I'll be back. And then she didn't come back until 10 years later. So I was raised in the system. Raised with a Black family. There was a family business, restaurant, J&M's restaurant. We were pillars of the community, the family that adopted me, took us in, my brother and my sister and I took us in. There was government checks coming for us and all the things, which was fine. It was very transactional as opposed to transformative. And the family that raised me didn't have time to walk me through the education process. So I was, I was moved along. And when you don't have that family support, in school systems, you know, nobody's coming to advocate for you, if no one is coming to parent teacher conferences, or, you know, you get a call home, and when you get home, you're getting your tails tapped because misbehaving. The misbehavior wasn't misplaced. The misbehavior was because I was a child trying to, one, survive in a classroom with a bunch of kids who were academically advanced, and I was way, way behind. So, you know, after the third grade, I didn't have that structure or that parental support to be in the schools with me. So they just passed me along until I hit junior high school, which was a very shaming era of my time, because I was in high school. Junior high school, didn't know anything. And at this time, I'm back in the schools that reflect me, right? You make new friends and all the things, and they're apparently academically solid, and I'm still behind. So I had to teach myself to learn to read at 13 because of the special ed classes that I had to sit in. Everybody was in mainstream classes, but Jermaine, she's in special ed. Not only is she in special ed, she's a foster kid, and she wears the same shoes over and over, and all these things. So life wasn't pretty for me, and I am not ashamed of my story. I tell it if I'm asked about it, but that's what happened. I had to hustle and grind for myself in order to get to the next phase of whatever that phase was. So I had to teach myself to read. And that was with a dictionary, right? Sounding out words. We didn't have tech back then. I'll be 53. We didn't have tech. You had to do it the hard way. You got to get a dictionary. You got to sound it out. You had to go to Jermaine, had to go to a trusted person and say, what word is this? And help me understand it, right? Or help me pronounce it. I can then, you know, in the dictionary, put it together what the word meant. So that's how I taught myself to read.
What motivated you to do that, though?
I wanted more. I knew socially what was going on around me. I understood what was going on around me socially. And one, I didn't want to be a statistic, because I was on the road of being one, even though I had my first child at 19, and people would say, oh, you were a statistic. But I knew I wanted more for myself. I knew I wanted to be gainfully employable. I didn't know if I wanted to go to a 4-year college or not. I didn't know what that was of being more, but I knew I needed to read and comprehend for myself, because if I didn't, I would be the one really, really left behind.
So I get into this argument a lot with successful people like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How do you maintain that balance of, because you had that drive, because you were able to do it, it doesn't mean that everyone starts at the same starting point, and everyone understands at the right moment, I need to get myself together. And we get that a lot as Americans. You know, the people, if you want to make it, you can. The people that don't are the ones that don't want to do anything, which isn't true. They haven't been shown a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So throughout my life, what I've tried to do, no matter where I'm at in my current life, I'm always reminded that life can change in a day. What does that mean, people? It means that in one day, Ms. Maine and I can go from where we're at to billionaires. We can both win the lottery, right? It can happen. Or we can be both on top of the world, and then the next thing, the rug pulled out from under us. And it's happening right now to many Americans as we speak. That rug is being pulled out. So are you judgy, or are you someone that says, let me lead by example?
I feel like in my younger years, I I judged a lot in my early 19, young adult age, 20s. Of yeah, I passed judgment on people just by people watching and like, oh, this
Mhm.
person is or this person that, really within the community that I was raised in. So yeah, there was a lot of judgment happening. But that's me needing in that particular phase in my life, I didn't know any better other than, because you grow up in a community where it's always gossip and it's always this and, well, why is she wearing this and that whole thing. And I love my culture. I'm a Black woman to the core. Let me tell you, I love us and I will never turn against us, but I also understand how we can be at times. um, so I had to learn to suspend judgment throughout my years. And I didn't arrive to where I am, and I'm far from perfect. I didn't arrive to where I am today um, because I set out for something. No, I'm here and I'm still evolving through therapy, through telling the truth and being honest about myself and not saying, "Oh, I got it all together," because this girl right here don't have it all together. So it took some learning and it took some hard, uncomfortable conversation. And it took me sitting within myself to say, "Oh, this is uncomfortable. And do I really show up this way with people?" Um, and as my therapist, mirrors like, "This is how you show up for people." It's like, oh, me? Really? I'm doing it that way. I'm doing it that way.
Yeah.
It took work. So when I learned not to judge and to suspend judgment, that's where it became more of a balanced thing. Now, from a political place and where we are, am I very judgy? Absolutely, I am. I have every right to be judgy. Every absolutely right to be judgy, because as a part of the 92%, we warned you. We
Mm.
straight up told you, if you do this, it's going to be this. And the messaging came across the board and droves from Black women. Do not do this. Whatever you do, you may not even like Harris, but if you do this, this is what the outcome is going to be. And we see that we see where we are. It's just, we are in a very peculiar place with on this soil. And I have many opinions about it. So I'm going to, because I don't want to take over this conversation.
Sure.
But
This is for you.
it took time for me to get to this place of balance and understanding judgment and suspending judgment to a place of balance, and to also try to see it from other person's experience and their perspective. In my younger years as a leader, I couldn't hear those who served alongside me, right? That what their experiences were. It's like, yeah, no, I didn't experience that. So if I didn't experience it, they surely shouldn't experience it. But that took a lot of reflection and a lot of hard work that had to be done within me as a leader to never ever take someone's experience away from them, regardless to how I, as the leader or the human or the woman, experienced it. Sally Joe or Joanne didn't experience it that way.
Yeah. So what are you looking to do now?
I don't know. I have worked with some professional coaches, and they're like, "Why don't you pivot?" It's like, yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't even know what pivoting looks like from a professional place. If there was something that if I wanted to pivot, I want to pivot in this digital world. But I also don't want it to be algorithm driven. And that's what it seems to be. So I don't know. I keep telling myself, "Oh, you're going to sit down and you're going to study this just like you taught yourself to read at 13. You're going to master this streaming piece. You're going to master all this digital world, because there's bags out there to collect, if you will." But how do you do that? It's just me a matter of saying, okay, this is something that I want to do and do it. But there is also my purpose driven, that it's hard for me to not serve in a capacity that I am most comfortable doing, in addition to knowing systems and understanding how women, marginalized women and children are treated. Social services lens doesn't make a lot of money at all. You're doing it because you're driven to do it. If you're looking to retire rich, it ain't gonna happen. But also understand the characters who come into social services. It's an easy field to get into to obtain a check and not necessarily do the work. And I'm the one that want to do the work to be a part of that healing process and that journey of stability. So
go ahead.
That's it.
So I don't know if you're reading the messages here, but your story is worth it. And sharing your story, which I think both of us are doing at this moment, or pieces of it, little glimpses into it, it helps someone else to know that it doesn't matter where your starting point is.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you believe and you can see it, you can achieve it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to say right now is Ms. Maine is going to become successful. She is successful in the digital area, and it's going to be done off of the intention within her heart, not off of an algorithm that needs to be served. And so I'm going to say, keep doing you, keep being you, keep putting that authentic self out there. And just like, your 100 followers, you're going to wake up and there's going to be 1,000, there's going to be 20,000, there's going to be 30,000. And, what do you know about the pivot? I wrote a song about it. I'll send it to you.
Nice.
That's what I'm doing. It's the pivot. And what it means is sometimes we question why us instead of why not us.
Yeah.
And I asked about your comfort zone earlier. Sometimes we don't know why.
Yeah.
But he or she does. And if we have that faith, and faith and fear can't live in the same region, guys, then we know we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's easy for me to say to you from this side of the mic.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
But it's harder for me to take it in, if that makes sense. I can say things to you I believe with all my heart. I think when it comes to ourselves, sometimes we let that question, which leads to doubt, come into ourselves.
Yeah.
And if we remember that you taught yourself how to read, you led an organization or department, you're good at what you do, you didn't have a silver spoon, you put one foot in front of the other.
Every day.
And there you are. So maybe right now, this is what I'm going to do. I don't know what you're going to do. There's a crowd of people sitting out there waiting for me. You hear that, Ike? Me.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But I'm about to go out there
and get it.
You don't know where that's from, do you?
It's a movie.
Yes.
Why?
Oh. It was What's Love Got to Do with It.
Ending,
the end scene.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, Mike? You gonna beat me? You gonna pistol with me?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm telling you what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. And she did it.
And she did it. She did it. Watching first, and I'm saying this full-heartedly, I don't look for anybody to fall. Anybody. Nobody. But watching a story like a Tina Turner, which just came out of left field for me, by the way, it lets you know that we don't always know what's going on in someone's personal life.
Absolutely.
And that magnificence that we saw towards the end of her life wasn't indicative of the first half of her life.
Yes.
She had to rechannel it. She had to re-energize it. And, you know, if sometimes stories are just stories and sometimes they're life lessons.
They are.
And I look at things and I say to myself, what am I supposed to get out of this? And within that movie, it kind of taught me a lot about not accepting what's in front of you as your destination.
Mm-hmm.
It's really saying, I'll rewrite my destination.
Mm-hmm.
I am Ms. Maine, and I'll write the next chapter of
Yeah.
my life. So what does YEST mean? YEST?
Yes. Yes means, so I as a young girl growing up, girls wasn't my thing. I didn't hang around girls. Girls were very complicated. One, because of my home situation, I didn't meet the standard, right? I couldn't hang out with people, but I was always pretty, and I've always had the long hair and had the cute little shape, and all the guys.
Did y'all hear this woman tell you that she was always pretty?
I say that with all humility, folks. But so the guys didn't necessarily care about my living situation. They saw like, oh, she's pretty and she got a little bit of sense, not a lot. She got a little bit of sense. But I you know, it was that piece that my husband is coming out. It was that piece that I'm sorry, I got thrown off because my husband's getting ready to go to work. Ask me that question again. I'm sorry. I totally got it.
we both don't remember.
Off. Yeah. Anyway, so I can't answer because I don't.
Oh no! You said you've always been pretty.
Yes. So even though, you know, back in your younger years,
ask your husband. Does he think you've always been pretty? Let's see what he's gonna say.
Eric, you probably ain't gonna come over here. And he ain't listening to me.
Okay.
He's got to get ready to go. He's going to be leaving to go to work. I totally forgot the question. My apologies.
No. It's okay. We got stuck on you always being pretty, and so we kind of sidebarred there because yeah, you're like, I'm beautiful and I know it. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Yeah. Humbly, I don't. Right.
It's a joke.
It served. I said it for a reason, right? I said it for a reason. It was based on the question that you asked me, but you know, my menopause brain is very, very, very foggy. Very foggy.
All of our anyway. So Peter Mofler, he and I did a show on Wednesday after you. We did a whole show about you. I told you that. You just don't remember. And I asked you to come on to that show and kind of talk about it because we were talking about what was going on in that moment, and then you showed up, and we kind of spoke to you directly and said, you know, if you need any help, if there's any introductions that we can make for you, we'll certainly be here. So it was me, Peter, and my friend Mike LeBlanc. But being on the platform, and right now there's 464 people, their eyes are on you. That's on YouTube. And then we have a couple hundred on LinkedIn. You know, for a recruiter out there, what are you looking for?
For a recruiter out there, what am I looking for? That's a very good question. I feel like under this particular, it's very volatile. The work base in the workplace and the marketplace is very volatile in my opinion. Again, I've told you I applied for over 60 jobs. I've been for the third one. The fourth one was very promising. Blah blah blah. The feds and all the things. So for me, I'm looking for more of an opportunity, not just the visibility, but the opportunity to, one, either remain in the field of social services and or pivot. And what does that pivot look like? If that pivot for me is really getting into the digital space and owning it, and not just my brand as my brand that can bring transformation, not transaction, that would be great. But I don't know what that looks like. And I don't even have the language. There's my husband, he's leaving. I don't even have the language around it, what that is. But if it was...
You ain't gonna go kiss him goodnight?
Hmm?
You ain't gonna go kiss him goodbye?
No, he's gone. He gone. He ain't gonna go. No. Listen, 20 years in, I see you when you get home.
Right.
20 years in, it's been something. So if an opportunity landed with somebody within your network, I would love to have a conversation. Would love to share my professional portfolio of the work that I've done. And if there are some connections and networks that can be made, I'm grateful for that.
Okay. Are you on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn. I don't care for LinkedIn. When LinkedIn first started, it felt like it was professional bound, but it just seems to turn into another just next level social media platform, in my opinion.
So where are you looking for jobs?
I'm looking through LinkedIn. I've paid for the package. I get all the hits and all the hits and all the hits. There's been some great leads from LinkedIn, but again, it's still falling flat, overqualified, or we're doing the internal hires. 60 jobs applied for, and only that's not even half. That's 0% in my opinion, and only been called to the table 4 times. That's crazy.
Well, it's disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not crazy. It's disturbing because it's hard to find a job. It just is. And the part that hits the hardest for me, I'm going to be a little bit, sad, but the overqualified thing, it doesn't help pay the bills. So although it sounds like a compliment, it's not. I get tired of being told that I'm overqualified. What am I supposed to hide my experience? And then how do I account for the last 20 years of my life?
Right.
So, I have a couple of people that I'd love for you to meet. Let's talk about, you talked about coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a coach?
I don't. I have a professional coach. Yes, have a professional coach, but it's very inconsistent. So it's very inconsistent. Professional coaches have to pay their bills, and life does not stop when their client has lost their job. Going from a 6-figure to California's unemployment, no matter what your cap was, what you made, it's $1,800 a month, right? That's what I get in unemployment versus a full salary of what I was making when I was in the field. So that adjustment has been like, I have to really pick and choose of what I can pay for and what I can't pay for right now, because of, that's a perk to have to pay for my professional coach. I just don't have it. I am very fortunate.
What do you use your professional coach for?
So my professional coach for me was more around the environment of culture in my workplace, in my department, and how to, one, stay sharp, to integrate the green generation coming in, if you will, and how do you support them at the work level. You know, you're coming in at an entry level, even though you've done all these wonderful things and you've obtained all these degrees, you're still coming in at an entry level. And how do you merge that with someone who's been in the field for over 25 years? And you bring two together to make it work, right? For me, that was where I shared my time with my professional coaches. How do I not harm but support those who are coming into the workplace? This particular generation that's coming into the workplace, if you say boo to them, it's you're in HR. It's just like, what? It's, you know, it's time to course correct here. And if we can't course correct because you're feeling a kind of way, it's hard. So having a professional coach to walk me through scenarios has helped me tremendously. So but I don't need it anymore. At this point, I can't do it.
Right. You can't afford it. I mean,
yeah, no.
We're just putting the truth out there because I can't afford it. But I'm starting with a professional coach this week or next week, because I found that I was really bad at being the interviewee. I'm a great interviewer, right? So if I'm sitting on this side of the table and you're coming in for a job, I'm great at interviewing. I'm great at making people feel comfortable. I'm great at tearing those walls down and us connecting, right? But when it comes to me interviewing, there are all these questions for you. When it comes to me interviewing, I suck. So I'm going to work with Gina Ballerin to help me overcome some of those awkward moments.
Yeah.
For instance, I don't know how to pause. And what does that mean? It means that when there's silence, I feel like I have to fill in that gap like immediately, like no pause. Let's talk about, let's answer Jared's question.
Which experience? This one here is on the screen.
Yeah.
Which experience shaped your perspective the most? Which experience? Oh my God! Which experience? It's a good question. I would say the experience of living pillar to post.
Wait. So explain that to people.
Oh, okay. Pillar to post. Okay.
Yeah.
Pillar to post is just not having your own and not being stabled. 1 minute you are at grandmother's house. The next minute you're at auntie's house. The next minute, you know, you have a 2-week stay at grandma's. You have a 2-week stay at auntie's. You have a month stay at uncle's. And then I'm going to go stay with my girlfriend for 6 months and get stabilized. So that's pillar to post. No stability, not having your own home, not having your own key to unlock your own door. But for me to have experienced that from pillar to post, and it's always been with love and grace from my inner community of how this is early on in my 20s, of how being from pillar to post really taught me what it meant to be, to develop and to evolve. So I will never ever take that experience away. Even when I was laid off, I immediately was triggered like, oh my God, I've come so far. Am I going back to pillar to post? And that is not the case, right? I'm still living in Marin, been in Marin for 25 years. I live in a very suburban community. My bills have been paid. We have not missed one meal. And very, very grateful for that. And it has nothing to do with me as a human. It's everything to do with God. It's only by the grace of God that me and my husband didn't have to pack up to leave where we are and where we've been for over 25 years.
Well, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because we're going to uplift you over here, and you're going to continue to do what you do. Yeah. I'm sure that your faith is powerful.
So that would I would never, that has absolutely shaped me. I know where I come from, and I just can't. I won't ever, no matter if whatever arriving looks like in society, that experience keeps me grounded.
It's funny because I'm trying to process your life and kind of thinking about mine. So my dad died when I was 8, right? And he was abusive to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
At 12, my mom moved to California. We
Mm-hmm.
grew up in Chicago, right? And she asked me, did I want to come with her? That's a very, very strange question to ask someone whose other parent died 4 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I supposed to go?
Right.
And so between the age of 12 and 16, she had just decided, okay, you need to go live with your grandparents. Now you need to go live with your cousins. Now you need to go live here, any place but her house. And so by 16, my grandfather bought me a car, and she had decided she was going to put me out and take my car. So I'm like, I'm not going to be homeless and carless. Like, that don't make no sense. like I'm going to just leave.
Yeah.
I've seen this story before. She actually drove me to a runaway shelter and then told me to tell them I had no place to live. Like, so when you talk about pillar to post, when you talk about that instability, I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it. And I live in Florida. My kids are in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
They're in their 30s, they're grown. But they're always like, why don't you, come back to California? I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like, I freaking can't afford it. It doesn't make any sense. I'm in my, later years, and if I move back to Los Angeles, I'm starting over.
Yeah.
Right? In that housing market. It just doesn't make sense. And the fact that I can live in Florida without a job gives me that, you understand this, gives me a sense of security.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Where if I move back to LA, it's going to be what, $5,000, $6,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying
Easily.
to own, right? I can't.
Yeah.
And all of that is because it goes back to that feeling of this home that I'm in right now. It's my home.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's taken, or if I leave it, there goes my sense of stability.
Yes. That's right.
And unless you've lived, and maybe this is because of, I don't know. I mean, because our generation went through, I mean, I'm older than you, but our generation went through some things. You have your own story. Most of us were latchkey kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we're coming home, again, my father died at 8. I've been coming home by myself since I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
And while both of them were at work. So it was a totally different experience growing up then. But at the same time, I believe it made us stronger.
Yeah. And that's what builds the resilience. I was a latchkey kid, per se, if you will, even though after school, I couldn't do the social things. I couldn't play on the basketball team. I couldn't do cheerleading. I couldn't do, go to a journalism club or anything of those natures. I had to go straight home from school because we had a family business. We had a family business. The family that adopted my brother and my sister and I, they owned a restaurant on in the Bayview.
So you and your brother were fully 100% adopted?
We were in foster care, the 3 of us, but it's many of us, but by my mother, it's 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the 3 of us, we landed in the same foster home. We weren't separated,
Nice.
which was amazing. Because that traditionally does not happen. They the families are tended systematically they're broken up, but we stayed together. So I didn't, even though, you know, we were okay from a place of there's a family business, blah, blah, blah. I was a latchkey kid, not in the traditional sense, but I couldn't build relationships outside of the restaurant. We had to go and work because the family, it was a family business ran, and we weren't hiring strangers to come in. You're in middle school, you old enough to work. My sister was in high school, you old enough to get in this restaurant and work. And my brother, same thing. You old enough to get into the restaurant to work. We were the employees of the of the business. So I understand what it looks like to be, I know what that is to be a latchkey kid, to go home to a mama at work or a father, whatever the case, whatever the situation is, to go home alone. And you're doing it by yourself. You're raised by the television. You're raised by, you know,
what was your favorite after school program?
Huh?
What was your favorite after school program?
I didn't have one. I have no. My favorite after school program was J&M's restaurant, making a hamburger for somebody who came in. That was it.
You were working
cash register. Boom. You know, working the cash register with a calculator beside me, make sure folks get their right change, and that was my after school.
But that's good, actually. I mean, you were working. You know, mine was Gilligan's Island. I
loved Gilligan's Island. You know, I'm Good Times, The Jeffersons, Sanford and Son. Those are my show. All in the Family, Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
You know.
So I didn't appreciate Good Times until I got older.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Good Times, they were raised in the project of Chicago, right? Mm-hmm. So I grew up in Chicago. Mm-hmm. I did not get that show was filled with family values and love and life lessons, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get past the fact that, you know, why do all Black people have to be in the projects? So that got stuck in my head.
Yeah.
As I got older, I recognized how powerful that show was.
Yeah.
And you know, Florida Evans was not a single mother. She had a husband who went to work every day. You know, they were just like most people. They were just keeping their head above water, making their way when they can.
Definitely keeping their head above water, but it also it exposed as you grow up and you mature and you understand the plot of the show. Nothing has changed. I can watch Good Times right now and say, oh, it's just it's more magnified. Things have not changed for the Black community. We're still marginalized. And then you have this broken boy commander-in-chief in position who are saying to the military, oh, they're animals. Who's in inner city is Black and brown. So you're identifying Black and browns as animals, and they need to be, and this is your training ground as a young general or whatever the levels are for to be in a military soldier, to go out and train on your very own on how to win a war. Yeah, no. So it hasn't changed. It's just it's escalated. It
hasn't changed. It's escalated, and for the first time in your life, you're nervous for America.
I'm not nervous for America as a whole. And this is no disrespect to anyone. I am nervous for Black people, period. And that's what my truth is. When I speak very clear and blunt about being nervous for Black people, I tend to lose followers. And I don't no harm, no foul, and I ain't gonna lose no sleep if I lose a follower, because someone that does not look like me can't understand. And it's not rage and it's not anger. It's a matter of fact. It's a matter of truth that I have to speak and that I will speak. So I'm not concerned about the United States. I am really, really, really concerned about Black America.
Yeah,
how President Trump is trying to, in every way possible, erase us. Not only erase us, but also try to manipulate us. It's like, oh, I have Black people around me, but you have Black people around you that are, one, yes, two, you don't honor them, three, I'm not going to even pass judgment. Let me just put a pin in there. That's who I'm worried about.
I'm going to let you do that because
I am worried about folks that look like me that cannot get ahead. The unemployment rate for Black women continues to tick up, 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 up. We're at the percentage of 5% more, right? Which is ridiculous. And the government being shut down, most Black women are hired through the federal employment pipeline. Really? Really?
And you know that he has threatened to fire a large group of those people.
Yeah.
That have so just gone.
Just gone.
Yeah.
And so
Just gone.
How can I I'm not there. If being completely transparent, I am mad at November 4th. I left work and I said, America, why? Why did you do this? Why was this all the white men for Kamala and then this whole performative behavior and conduct through white women to say online, especially online, we're voting this way, we're voting that way, we're doing this and all the things. But when we came down to going into your personal private polling booth and you did that ballot of how you chose to do that ballot for whether you had pillow talk with your husband the night before or you have your own remorse, I have no idea. I feel like Black women was championed and the momentum was there to support Kamala, whether you believed in her politics or not. I was arguing with Black men that looked just like me because when she was here in California, she put Black men in jail. Well, she was doing her job.
I told this, I said the same thing. Maurice Simpson, calling you out. He and I got into a big argument. We haven't spoken in 30 years, and something happened. Oh, he used to date my sister, and she passed, and so that's how we reconnected. And then during that whole Kamala thing, and this is a Black man that went to Morehouse. He was like, I can't vote for her. And I'm just like, okay, well, there's only one other option. Now, I do not want to lose followers. Peter Muffler is going to be added to the stage, by the way. He is someone else who's looking for a job, but he is a recruiter. So I think it would be great for you two to talk. Plus, I said that Peter and I had a conversation specifically about what you were going through in a while. So I'd like you to meet him. Do you mind?
Oh, sure.
She don't want to meet you, Peter.
That's not true.
Peter! So, Ms. Maine, Peter lifts 350 pounds every day. He's been... What'd you say?
Hey, can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we can. I was saying
Sorry,
you lift 350 pounds every day.
Hear what you was saying for like the last 20 seconds.
No, it's okay. I was telling Ms. Maine that you lift 350 pounds every day, that you are a recruiter that's looking for a position. You got laid off as well. And you've been listening to our conversation, correct?
Yep, I have.
So do you remember when you and I did that call or that live, and you had the statistics for, the amount of Black women that gotten laid off and all the other stuff? And then we showed Ms. Maine's video. Do you remember any of this?
I don't remember the video. I remember having the statistics, but not necessarily about Miss Maine. Okay.
So have you listened to what we've been talking about?
Yeah, I in and out parts.
So talk to her about your experience. So she's, since June 28th, she's been looking.
Mm-hmm.
She's applied to 60 jobs,
Mm-hmm.
which is normal, by the way. It is. But she's gotten four. She's gotten 4 interviews, and of the 4, she actually has. We're not going to talk about this, guys. We're not going to say who it is. She actually has an offer contingent on how the federal government plays out. Now, I say things in a very specific way because I believe in manifestation. So when I say she has an offer, that's me declaring it, right? What has been, kind of walk us through what your experiences have been. What advice do you have for Ms. Maine? And suggestions that you may have.
Sure. Well, I mean, first off, your ratio from doing applications to getting interviews and even getting an offer is way better than mine. So congratulations. I mean,
honestly,
if I kept track of how many jobs I've applied to, I left my job in March, so I had an extra 3 months on you, and if I kept track, I would probably go insane of how many jobs I've applied to and how many people I haven't heard back from, or recruiters have actually ghosted me. So first off, I give you a huge, that's awesome that you got out of 60. I mean, that's an anomaly, I will say. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on your offer. Very unfortunate
it's
that
contingent.
Yeah, that's contingent on how the government's going, and we can all see how that's going right now. So that's not. I mean, I'd like to. I put the comment in there. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I mean, we'll see how that plays out. So you know, at least you have the offer. The one thing, I mean, if anything, I will say is that, so I've gotten a few offers myself. I've had to turn them down because they didn't make sense for me. And that I would say that's part of it, is that wherever you go next, whatever your goals are, stick to them. Don't, because I mean, if you looked at my resume, you could see that I haven't been at anywhere longer than a year outside of work I did in college. That's for a reason. I'm not going to get into that. But people harp on to me about not being in a place for a long time. So with that in mind, wherever I go next, I do want to be there long term. And
But
that's
hold
what I'm
on.
working through on my own
But
side.
she has 20 years experience.
Right.
So and I think that's where, as a candidate, it becomes frustrating.
Sure.
So you've only been at your job for a year, so they question that, right? But then her and I have 30 years of experience, and we're overqualified.
Right.
So
make everybody happy.
Like, where is the middle here? And
Right.
we are fighting a moving goalpost, like literally a moving goalpost.
Sure. And I mean, I've been in a situation where, unfortunately, age did affect the candidate. You know, not going to say who the company was. It made me mad whenever I heard that, because I'm of the notion of, I don't care how old this person is. I mean, in this day and age, you're lucky. And you know, their excuse was, well, we want someone who's going to be here for 10 plus years. I mean, now we're in the day and age where you're lucky if you can keep somebody longer than 2 years, 1 year, let alone that. So if you can do the job and you're willing to accept, you know, whether you're overqualified and maybe the pay is not nearly as much as you want to be, as long as you're willing to do whatever that is, that works for me. And that was the thing too, was that whenever I was working as corporate or an agency recruiter for clients, they would wonder, so why do they want this job? And it's, then I give them the reasons. Well, based off of this job, based off of what you want, this is what they want to do. And they're like, oh, okay, fine. Because that's the thing, is that if you don't even have the conversation with a recruiter, if, like, in my perspective, they see short-term impacts on a resume that, for a good amount of people, it doesn't look good. And then vice versa, for someone who's got so many years of experience, that can also might not look like a good thing if you're applying to a job that only requires a couple years of experience versus a couple decades. So I would say the key thing, if you ever come across those situations again, is do your best to get in front of the people that are actually making the decisions. I heard that you don't necessarily use, you're a little bit hesitant on LinkedIn. I will say one factor I do like about LinkedIn is that it doesn't always do it, but you're able to see a job poster every once in a while for jobs. So that gives you a slight leg up on actually getting conversations with the people that are supposed to be recruiting for the job. Because I've also had instances where I apply to a job, I reach out to that job poster, and they're actually not the person really in charge. So then I have to find the actual person really in charge. But I would say in general, you have this contingent offer right now. That doesn't mean, that absolutely doesn't. And I do the same thing myself, is that even though you feel like you're about to get an offer from somewhere, don't let up on the gas as far as looking at other opportunities, pursuing other things. So I would just say, at least for right now where you are, it's great that you have an offer. Again, contingent on the government thing, that leaves a huge question mark as of right now. So I would say, continue to apply, do your best to find people to actually get a hold of when you're able to. For instance, so at the bare minimum, what I do, and I also use LinkedIn as this, because what people should be doing is either HR, talent, whatever they want to call themselves internally, they should be on LinkedIn, and you have the ability to reach out to these people. Now, unfortunately, LinkedIn has made it more difficult, where as far as I know, and the funny thing is that my old employer is still paying for my LinkedIn premium, so that's funny. But
not anymore. Now that you told them,
I don't care. It's so the funny thing with them as well is that it's been 7 months since I haven't been there. I got a text from Clearance Jobs about a couple weeks ago, because I was one of the they gave me one of the accounts for Clearance Jobs to get codes in order to use it. So anyway, just so you know, Clearance Jobs is a platform more specifically designed for cleared roles. So if you need a top secret clearance or a secret clearance, that's what you use it for, to find candidates that are on that site. I got codes in order to be able to give access into Clearance Jobs. So they're not paying attention, so I don't care at this point. So
you're telling the world. And I don't think you should tell the story anymore, Peter.
Oh well, it's their own fault. But anyway, so whenever you're doing it on LinkedIn, you're able to see the other people that are at the job. So what you can do at the bare minimum, whenever I apply to jobs, I reach out to at least 5 people on the company site, whether it's HR, talent managers, the people that have the same title as what I'm looking for. That's the bare minimum of what I do. Also looking at people that, if they're following the company page, referrals are huge, because obviously applications can go somewhere, but a lot of the times they don't. So you have to go on the referral basis, and go that route where you can. So if you never know who you are connected with already that could have connections where you want to go. So, overall, just keep your foot on the gas, keep applying, make sure to do your best to get a hold of the talent managers, HR stakeholders, anyone you can at the company to get yourself a better presence rather than just putting an application in the system.
I think that's really good wisdom that you share with me. Thank you. I was reading, I haven't had to apply for jobs in over 25 years. And my last job that I had, I was recruited for the role. It just was God sent for it to take a turn in 2 years. So I felt like I was competing against the bot, right? It's like, what's real, what's not real, really trying to figure out this digital lens from a place of applying for a position. And everything that you shared with me, thank you. It takes me back to the foundation of how you used to apply back in the day. I need to make that contact with a person, with an HR person. LinkedIn, I'm paying for the premium every month of whatever.
Why aren't you connected to me?
I don't know. I will after this. But I'm not on it, right? But I do take advantage of, paying for, and I see the positions. Then I go through the whole process of applying online through LinkedIn. But I don't know where it's landing. It's the buzzwords. I was told, I had somebody do my resume and it cost me like $500. She's like, you don't have buzzwords and you have to have these keywords and all the things. Back then you didn't have to have the key. So the whole applying for positions have now become very scientific, if you will, on how it needs to be done, because you got to have the right language. My resume, when people look at it, just like, one place I applied for, she was like, you are at a senior executive level. Why would you want to take this type of role? Definitely was a lesser role. Let me get my foot in the door, right? I need to, and I don't want to settle for anything. Some things, it's just like, I saw it come past. It's like, yeah, no, I ain't doing that. That's backwards. It's backwards. But if I could get into Sutter Health, the hospital, the entity as a whole, even at a lesser.
Where?
Sutter Health. The hospital.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, does anybody know anyone at Sutter Health?
I would love to work for Sutter Health, but I will come in Sutter Health as an entry, do it as entry. I just get in the door, and then I have my capabilities of the next level, what it could be for me. But that's
all right. So are you on YouTube, or can you put it in the YouTube comments on this? Sutter Health. How do I spell it?
I don't know how to write on here.
How do I spell Sutter Health?
Right here. Sutter Health is SUTTER Health.
Okay.
Yeah. And Sutter Health is planted. It's a medical institution that's all around the world, and they're doing a lot of work in California, a lot, especially in the Bay Area.
So I have I'm from California, so I have a lot of connections out there. Let's put Sutter Health Human Resources in the chat. So who knows who? And let's just keep building on it. So what role are you looking for? I want to go.
Go ahead.
We're going to do two different things. All right. We're not going to ask what you will take, because right now, Ms. Maine we know that she would, a good foot in the door is great for Sutter Health, and she'll prove herself after she gets there. But what is your ideal position?
My ideal position is definitely coming in leadership management. Sutter Health, the prime role that I want to land with them is their community engagement. So that's either working with families, mothers, women who have been unhoused, and they need that level of stability that's outside of the doctor visit, right? So community engagement, that's what I'm looking for. That's my lane for Sutter Health, right? I've looked at multiple positions and they've had them, but they've hired internally. I know someone who high in rankings in Sutter Health, and she gave me the tease. Like, they do hire within, they prioritize Y'all know what I'm saying?
Prioritize.
Prioritize
Yes.
hiring internally first if they can. And I think
Then
that's
why do they put the? And I
it's
guess this is
hard,
for him.
right? You have to do
Why do
that.
they put the job out? Why do they do the? Yeah.
They
Sorry.
have to. It's just part of it's part of their process. It's even whenever I was more of the corporate recruiter, where they said that technically we do have to put this posting out for at least a week or two, but we do already have someone else in mind. But technically we do have to put this job out there for at least 2 weeks before we can officially move on to the next step.
Yeah. And you have to. So, I mean, it's I guess it's the law. So right there. And what was the other part 2 of your question for that's specific, very specific for Sutter Health? I know what I would like to do with Sutter Health. I will even come in for Sutter Health to do patient care, where you're doing the intake for the patient to get in, blah, blah, blah. It's just the foot in the door. If I can just get in the door, I know how to work my my resilience.
Yes. So how do you frame that without making the person that you're interviewing with feel? And this is my struggle, so I'm putting it on you. Without making the person you're interviewing with feel like they're in competition or feel insecure.
You're talking about the interviewer?
Yeah, because you're going to go in and you're going to make it happen, right? And so this is what comes with our work history. So the person sitting across the table from us has been there, 3 years. So they don't know what you know. And you will go in there and you can start any place and you will end up owning the place at the end of the day. So how do you, I'm asking anybody out there that wants to answer this. I'm throwing it to you, Ms. Maine. How do you and I go through the interview process without making the person on the other end of the table feel insecure?
So I think that's a very layered question, and I do got to call my granddaughter back. I told her to call back at 2:30.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I haven't seen
How
my
old is
baby. She's 6, and if I'm not calling her back, she's definitely going to be calling me back. So I think that's a really good question. It's very layered, right? So me as a hopeful, as a candidate coming to an interview panel, I expect that to be a mixture of seasoned folks and an HR representative, right? It all depends on what you're applying for. It is not my responsibility to come in to soften myself into or even shrink in an interview. If you know anything about interviewing, which I know we all 3 know, we have to come in as if we belong there, and we have to stand in our yes confidence. So where I got lost, where I was like, I've always been pretty, was talking about what is yes. So that's walking in that yes confidence of I can do this, but I'm a very humble person, and I'm also coachable. So I think you massage to just a little bit, but you have to, for me, I have to come in very confident that I can do this job, especially when you are sitting amongst the table and you have every alphabet behind somebody's name because they did it the traditional way. Jermaine didn't do it the traditional way. Jermaine worked from 19 years old to her 50s to get to, an executive suite or a senior suite. It's not because I have a BA or I have a master's and all these things, because I don't have any degrees. I worked from the age of 19 when I had my first son, who's now 33, where I said welfare wasn't an option for me. Living in the projects wasn't an option for me. I am going to work. And I couldn't find that balance between work and school. It just did not work for me. I was focused only on school and not becoming a welfare recipient and taking care of my Black boy that I had to take care of. So it's a very layered question, in my opinion. But one thing I do going into the interviews, that I'm very cordial, I'm very respectful. I leave them, if I know who the panel is, I write them a handwritten note and give everybody a card. Thank you for your time. I speak in that handwritten note specifically to that role. So if it's somebody at a director's level, thank you for moving the community forward. And I'm not doing it because it's cliche or anything like that. I mean that. That's who I am. This is the person that you're going to get at the table. For me to interview for the position that is pending, given the feds, I wrote a whole, which I didn't have to, I wrote a whole 90-day strategic plan of what I would do to shift the culture for this particular position. I didn't have to do that, but I did it to show them who I am and what I can do. Maybe was that intimidated for somebody else? I don't know, but that's not my problem either, right? It's not for me to concern myself of somebody feeling intimidated of the work that I've done.
Damn. That was a really good answer. That was a great answer. And the reason why I resonated is because I do struggle with that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going through Gina as a coach, is because I'm always nervous about who is supposed to show up.
Yeah.
You know, because you take CEO or whatever title that I may have had, and you know, who does this person? I'm interviewing for a call center job, right? I'm interviewing a management position, but who do they want to see? Because I can do it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to prepare you for your granddaughter.
Yes.
Yes. So Jackie Hallberg has her own show on Mondays.
Okay.
And she just reached out and said her November is open if you'd be interested in being a guest on her show on any November Monday at 7 p.m. So that'd be like 3 p.m. your time. You and I can talk about that.
Yeah.
Yes, you and I can talk about that offline or chat about it. Her show is called Just Jax. It's on LinkedIn. She uses StreamYard too, so it would be the exact same process if you chose to do it. But what it is, because LinkedIn is a community, once you start networking like this, you're putting your name out there. And how do people connect with you? How do you want them to connect with you? So your Substack is...
You want me to put it in the chat here?
You can.
I could. Yeah, I could put it in the chat. Let me see. I'm multitask here.
Let's see if she can figure out how to do it, you guys. Do you think she can do it?
I can put my Substack in there. So here.
You should put your Substack in there, your LinkedIn, if you want people to connect with you, if there's recruiters out there. And then, Peter, what is the... I don't know where Mike went. He came on, then he left. What is the rule about this time of year? Because I have been punching it, like trying to get all of my resumes out before October ends.
No, yeah, I mean that's perfectly fair. I mean, yeah, by the time October comes and goes, I mean that's pretty much where companies are wrapping things up for the year. You might find a few companies that are still looking to hire, but I would say at least 70% of them are gonna stop hiring and slowing down. But again, it's not a golden rule. But I would say continue to punch it. You know, this finding a job is it is a full-time job at minimum, if not more. So even though a good number of companies will stop, not everybody does. So keep going where you can find the opportunity.
Got you. Ms. Maine, it's been a pleasure. I still don't know what your name is.
Jermaine. My name is Jermaine. I'm so sorry. Here, I'm putting my information in here.
I kind of figured out a little bit.
Yeah. I am Miss Maine came from my nephew who couldn't say
Jermaine.
Yeah, so it just came into Miss Maine, and I
your story is there's so many layers to your story.
Yeah. There are. It's crazy.
Like how did you? Well, you got to go.
No, we're fine. We're fine. I've got to get my LinkedIn information. Lord Jesus. Sorry, I'm not prepared.
Jackie, I'm working for you. I think we have a November guest. possibly. But
You'll
she's gonna get
expect
a
a
lot of
referral
heat,
fee.
huh?
You'll expect a referral fee.
I do not. Jackie is famous on her own.
Okay, I just got to get LinkedIn.
Why do I say this? They may create a job for you. Why do I say this? They may create a job for you if you're networking.
Oh, I get what they're saying.
Okay, yeah, that's my
If you introduce yourselves and you explain your experience and everything you've done, then they're like, "Oh, you sound like someone amazing. You know, maybe we can bring something up, or maybe we can create something for you." Or at least that's what I imagine that they're talking about.
yeah. So, what about the fact that so many people are? Where did you send it, Miss Maine?
I'm putting it in here. I just got to get my LinkedIn.
You're still typing.
I had to. No,
So y'all don't do not give her a typing test. We
Oh no. I mean, I can type. I just don't know my LinkedIn. It's all these passwords. Let me tell you, it's not nice. Okay, LinkedIn is not going to be on there. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
It's in there.
It's okay. So what is great is getting your name out there, getting it out there on LinkedIn. Jackie Just Jacks, her show is phenomenal. It's also LinkedIn based, and she's dealing with a lot of HR recruiters and everything else. Right now, there are 327 people watching this. And one of the things I want you to remember is that last week we switched everything up.
Yes, thank you.
So it would have been even more because I think Jackie took your time slot.
Okay.
Last week. Think about this. I become wealthy. I need someone that can run a call center. Who am I going to call? William Rochelle. All right. Oh, you're putting it in the private chat.
Oh, is it private? Unprivate me.
Hold on. Let me do this.
Oh, oh, there it is. Oh, geez. Hi, everyone. I am tech savvy, y'all. I just wasn't prepared for this. Let me do this again. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You can find me on Substack, MsMaine.substack.com.
And Jermaine Bond for LinkedIn. I'm gonna put my name in there.
All right. And so Jermaine, J-E or G-E?
Germaine. It's telling me to connect to YouTube. It's too much going on here.
It's okay. Just tell me, Jermaine, what?
Jermaine Bond, B-O-N-D.
Okay. We are not going to be strangers. You're going to start listening to my music on Substack. You're going to help me grow my Substack connection. I'm going to connect with you right now on LinkedIn. If you would like to write something, both Peter and I can repost it for you. And just something about you and what you're looking for. And then, I could put it into an article or whatever makes sense to get your name out there. My suggestion for you would be to take Jackie up on the first lot that she has open, because remember, just like anything else, we're treating your search like we would a business. And so if you think about someone who releases the movie, they're all going on the press junket for like 2 weeks before the movie gets out, right? And so you don't want to lose momentum. You want to keep it growing. And your appearance on a podcast does not need to be about your job search. It can be about anything that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
It could be about how you choose your images for the woman that you have chosen to be your persona. Is great. She's sassy. She's like, where did you get this creative piece from? I gotta let you go.
Yeah, where did it come from? The creative piece came from my brother. Sitting in a corner, teaching myself how to read, dreaming. a book when I did learn to read took me places that being in a foster care or a foster home couldn't take me. And then I don't have the skill to draw. My brother is like JJ from talent. It's like JJ from Good Times. So my brother is an artist, born natural artist. I'm not, but I learned how to masterly prompt, and that's how my images come out very well because I've taken the time to learn how to prompt with the generative items. I don't know if we can call them art. I don't know what we can call them, but images.
I call them art. You know, we're doing different. I call it art. I mean,
yeah.
Come on. I mean, 20 years ago, we had, or 40 years ago, when we were kids, there was a whole section of people that couldn't sing. they were just video dancers, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that was considered art. That was considered a song. So I consider whatever I do art.
Yeah.
I am so excited that we had this chance to be together. I'm going to end the show now because I can talk to you forever. You could take me up on any of the resources that I have at any time. No question is too big. No assistance is too much. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. Right? So we are friends now.
Yes.
Yes.
We are friends.
We are friends now, and I hope I know nothing but the best will happen for you.
Thank you.
So as we leave, did you notice a song I made for you at the beginning of
yes, it was so, you know, you don't know this about me, but I am so low key, honestly, low key, and I don't know how to handle public recognition well. I really shy away from it. I'm the one that's going to be behind the scenes, and I'm going to make it happen for whoever I need to make it happen for, including myself. So I'm really, really humbled, and I appreciate you taking the time to put that piece together. I really shy away from that.
It's okay.
But I am very grateful. And we could talk offline about being the November show. I am doing my seasonal gig, so it gets a little funky. If I know in advance, I can let
your seasonal gig. And all right, are you able to talk about that or no?
Yeah, it's we have been everything that's going on with Broken Boy and the media and brands. The brand just came to all of us and said, anything social media, keep our name out of your social media life.
Feed.
Right?
Yes.
Anyway, I've been doing this seasonal gig for a well-known store in Marin, and I go back.
So like a retail store.
It's not. It's home. It's home. It's retail. Okay. It's a big thing. All right. So I'm back there for the holidays, and I can then I can schedule my time if I'm going to do a live stream around that because it's bringing in supplemental income.
We get it.
Yeah.
I get it 100%. And feel free to jump in. I do these shows every Sunday.
Okay.
You are always welcome, just like Peter jumped in, to come in and talk about what's going on. And every so often I do a thought of the day. It's been a pleasure.
It has been. Thank you, Peter. Nice to meet you.
Yes, Peter is great. Peter, are you going to hold on for a second until after the show? Sure. All right. So we're going to play your outro music, Miss Maine.
Okay.
And I got her to come on the show, Peter, because I created this like promo called Ms. Maine.
It's not because of that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because I was like, is she gonna come on the show or not? So I sent out that promo, and you were like, oh yeah, I can come, but like not till next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I try to be the woman of my word. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it.
That was my passive aggressive. Like, okay, let's get this going. Here's Mike. Mike, we're hanging up with Ms. Maine because she has to go see her granddaughter at 2:30. So we're hanging up. It was really nice meeting you, and we will talk soon.
Yes, absolutely. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, You Be You Live is proud to present the incomparable Miss Maine.
Step to the stage, truth in her hand, words so strong, we all understand. Voice of fire, cutting through the pain. Say it loud, say her name, Miss Maine. We all shook. Come take a look, write it plain. Rise again, rise again. Stories deep, healing the crowd. She speaks the truth, says it out loud. From the heart, nothing's the same. Hope is alive with Miss Maine.
Girlies, honeys, dream girlies, fellas too. She's writing for the people, breaking through.
Miss Maine.